Okay, hello everybody. It's Wendy and it's Leanne, and we are here, and we're recording it because so many of you are late. Anyway, I am happy to have you here, and if you're watching it not live, I would absolutely love it if you would give us some feedback on what you think and what comments that you have as you go. So if you're not watching it live, still want to know what your thoughts are and still want to know what your questions are. So now I'm going to focus on Leanne, and I'm going to focus on the new consultant training module that's available on my business. So, Leanne, how are you?
Yes, I'm great, thank you.
This is like month 4 for you, isn't it? Hello, Kylie.
Yeah.
month 4, full 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Now, I welcome you to visit these Mix and Mingles as long as you want to, and especially when you have new people coming on, like you're looking at sponsoring someone. So you're welcome to participate with people you sponsor so that you're able to answer their questions along the way. Okay?
Yeah.
Kylie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How long have you been a consultant now? I've forgotten.
I'm still within, I think I've got 95 days or something like that left in my Bright Start period.
Brand spankers then. Good.
Yep.
Now, Kylie, are you coming to conference? The booth?
I'm hoping to, with the 2 parties that I've got sitting in the system, which should be all finalised by the 15th, there's most of my money to go to conference, so I'm working on it.
Well, you do know you need to order those tickets before you're going to get paid for those parties.
Yes.
Okay, so just the cutoff, I don't think that they're going to extend the cutoff at all. So
when does that close?
Is it the 15th or 16th? I think they said today it was 5 days to go, so I feel like it's the 16th.
Okay.
But that's either this Friday or Saturday.
Payday's tomorrow, so I'll get them tomorrow.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. So just spend it and then get the money back and throw it back onto the credit card or whatever you do. Pay yourself back for it really quick.
Yep.
So Kylie, so that you know, I am recording this in case there's a few people who couldn't get here. I'm not really going to send it out to everybody. I'm going to make it available for people who ask for it. So I won't just be posting this up onto the Nirvana page. All right, let me share my screen with you guys. So this is what I want to do now. I want to take you to this and say share. So you should be seeing my boost screen. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right, excellent. And you can see us over on the side still, or me, or?
I can see you.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. Well, then I'll look every now and then. What I want to do is show you, if you go up here to this search button over here, it's got it's the best thing ever. So I want to search for new consultant training. And just hit go, and so here's all the stuff that comes up. Hey, I see, how are you? So all of these different things come up. So look at all of that stuff that you have access to. New consultant orientation, leadership rocks for new leaders, a new consultant training checklist. How groovy is that? You can have a checklist to make sure you've kind of done everything you need to do when you start. The party training guide for 2019, kind of giving you an idea of the different parties you can do. Copy of the consultant agreement. This might be important for people who you are going to sponsor. You might want to pay attention to that and see what kind of information is in it in case you didn't read it when you signed up yourself. But that's available to you. The new consultant profile is something that your unit leader and I would love to have access to. We'd love to know more about you and what makes you tick and what your goals are. There's leader follow-up, how to onboard a new consultant. That's my job, how a leader brings someone into the team. There's information about your income and consultant account. And then there's training here, making new connections. So I'm not going to go through all of those and open each one up. I'm going to only open the first one. But I wanted you to see where that was. So just by typing new consultant training up in the search bar, which remember, it's way up here, you'll be able to find heaps of information and get access to this. Okay, so let's go to new consultant orientation. This is not in PowerPoint. This is in a PDF document. So it's not gonna, I can't flick it like I would a PowerPoint. Instead, I'm just gonna scroll. And I wanna do this fairly quickly first. I'm gonna go all the way through it, hopefully in about 5 to 10 minutes. Stop me from talking too much. Someone needs to slap me. Who's gonna be responsible for slapping me if I keep talking too long? Because what I want to do is go through it really fast, but I want you guys to take notes. I want you to identify which slides you want me to go into more detail on. Okay? So I'm not saying that all of it is not important, because all of it is important, but I think that there's going to be specific slides that you're really going to like and really going to want to find out more about. So are you ready? All right, take some notes. Here we go. How to get started talks about the 6 parties, talking to your upline, and doing this new consultant training. The overview of the presentation, the whole presentation, is to go through the vision and goals that you have, to talk about your calendar and the contacts that are on it, to talk about the host program and the host care calls that we make. And that's one area I thought you would like to have training on. To talk about the party basics, how to do a party, what to do before, during, and after a party, how to get great customer service, bookings, sponsoring, a reality check, and then some ongoing training. So let me just take you through those. We do think that it's important that you have a vision of what you want to use your Party Light funds for. We are definitely involved in the business for community. We're definitely involved for the product, but we're also need some sort of inspiration to keep our business active. And so you might notice that Party Light does not have an opportunity for you to sign up as a VIP customer. You're either a customer or a consultant. Nothing in between, really. You don't have a try it and just buy for yourself kind of consultant level. But we do have a become a consultant and sell to your friends and family level. So we need to know what your goals are, and are you going to pay bills, school fees, pay off credit cards, give yourself holidays, you know, buy some extra treats, get a pedicure. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Buy a dog, buy a cat. Those are expensive. Pay for dog food. Doesn't matter what it is, but it's really important that you have one. So setting goals is very important. All right, and setting targets for individual parties as well as monthly goals is a really important thing. You might notice that we have monthly bonus periods. So between the first and the last day of the month is bonus. So that's a monthly goal you might have. But we also have the Nirvana 15, which is the first 15 days of a month. And we also have the activity promotions. So those might be good goals for you. Controlling your calendar is something that we train on in a lot of detail, and I've got a tremendous amount of information on this. Designing a contact list. Now, I don't know if you know, but I don't like this slide because I think Party Light is too long. I go for Frank. Instead of Party Light, I like Frank. Friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and people who have kids. Those are the K, F-R-A-N-K. That's sort of my list. But the Party Light list that's here is good too. It's just long, and I can't remember what all of the letters stand for. But it spells Party Light, and that makes us good. But this contact list is a really important part of your training, and you need to know how to develop it and how to approach the people on it. The host program. I really want to make sure that you guys as new consultants understand the host program, because our host program is one of the most generous host programs in the business. I don't know how many parties you have for other companies like Enyo and Lorraine Lee and Arbonne and Tupperware and all of that, but Party Lights is the most generous program that we have. So it's really important that you understand what all the benefits are. This takes up 2 slides, slide number 8 and slide number 9. And I could go through that if you want me to. Host coaching. The host is so important to your success, and you've got to stay in touch with them and make them feel excited about the party, but you don't want to bombard them. But you definitely want them to know that you're involved. And so this is a little success formula here on slide number 11, the 4 contact points that I like to make with my hosts. So I like to talk to them to confirm the party. I like to talk to them to see if they need any help with their attendance list, the invite list. I like to make sure that they know they're going to get some free stuff. So I talk about the rewards that are available. And I like to get them excited about the party. G'day, Sharon. So those are the calls that I would like for you to, and not all of them are phone calls. Some of them are phone calls, some of them are emails, some of them are text messages, but all of them are important. So now I see in Sharon, what I'm asking you guys to do is I'm asking you to identify which of the slides that I'm going through now that you would like me to go into more detail on it. So I'm going through the new consultant orientation pretty quickly right now, just to ask for your feedback on what you want to get more training on. Right? So how about preparing for the party? Preparing for the party, there are some party basics. So getting ready, and then presenting. What do you present at the party? And then sharing information at the party. Serving people at the party, giving them customer service at the end and taking the one-to-one orders. Pampering the host at the party by giving her host benefit and by confirming everything that you need to do before you leave. And then processing the party afterwards. That's one step of the party, and the party's not done until you've done that part. And then providing platinum customer service. You guys know that I really respect the information and the training that's in the GoPro book by Eric Worre. Eric Worre talks about being a professional candle person. He doesn't say candle, but I do in my head. I insert candle every time that he says, be a professional network marketer. And he basically says in the beginning, there are 3 levels of network marketer. There's the poser. The poser is the person who just says that they're a network marketer, says that they sell candles, but doesn't do any research or work towards it. Kind of does it not even well as a hobby. Then there's the amateur. They're the people that say that they do it, but they don't do it well. And then there's the professional. And the professional doesn't mean full-time. The professional means that they love what they do and they do it well, and they provide great customer service, which makes their business strong, even if their business is small. So there's a big difference between being a poser and being a professional, but there doesn't need to be a big difference in the time that you invest in your business. They could both be the same. But he says, and I agree, if you're going to do something, why not do it right? So providing platinum customer service is part of that. The next slide is about looking for bookings and definitely dealing with your frank list from before, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and people with kids. Dealing with your frank list, dealing with your calendar, and adding those 2 things together is where we're going to get the bookings. Now, we did cover that a lot at the last training that we did, which was exactly this. We talked a lot about the $50 vouchers.
Yeah.
So I just would like some feedback from you guys later on, how has that worked for you? Have you been able to give away some vouchers? Has it started conversations and moved you one step closer? It's always about moving one step closer. Next slide says sponsor enthusiastically. And I can do some training on this if you want to. I find that brand new consultants have a tendency to think that they can't or shouldn't sponsor new people yet. And I would like to let you know that you certainly can. And it would be selfish not to if the person should be a consultant. If you see someone and you think, wow, she should be a consultant, don't put your own filter on it and say, but I'm new, I can't sponsor her yet. Don't put your own filter on it and say, but if I start her, she'll get all the business. I can show you what you can do and how it will help you in the long run. And so anyway, I could talk about this tonight. The reality check I will go through right now. Making phone calls is critical to your success. I reckon that we can try and do this business via Facebook and text, but I don't think it'll work very well for everything that we need to get done. No is definitely part of the game, and you've got to be resistant to no. It's resilient to no. When people say they're not interested, it's not a personal affront to you. You've got to be able to learn that, and there's lots of places that I would send you to. And interestingly, this isn't just about parties. This is about life. Life. No is a part of life. Kids are told no over and over and over again. And you know what they keep doing? They keep asking, don't they? Yeah. 3-year-olds don't take no for an answer. They say why, but why, but why, but why. And then they ask again until they get what they want. And we then teach people that they need to accept no. And then later on down the line, we get resistant to no, and we really feel like no is personal. When, you know, Will Smith would do a fantastic presentation on why you got to just keep getting up after you get knocked down. You know, it's not about all the sports analogies or all of the things, but successful people have been told no a lot of times. And you'll hear people in all walks of life, like J.K. Rowling. You want to know why J.K. Rowling is known as J.K. Rowling? Because she didn't want people to know she was a woman, because she thought that might have been one of the reasons why she was being rejected by so many publishers. So she changed her name to J.K. instead of her real name, and J.K. Rowling got told no over and over and over again, until finally one day someone accepted her manuscript. So no is not a part of party life. No is a part of life, and we need to be able to get through it. Postponements and cancellations happen. We need to be able to plan for them, and if we have a goal in mind, we should plan to do more than it takes to get to the goal every single month, every single week, every single day, because chances are something's going to happen. It's called insurance. We need insurance. And the last thing on this slide says that your level of effort and enthusiasm will be reflected in your success. And I don't say it might be, I say it will be. Because if you put in the effort and you're enthusiastic and you are open to training and coaching and trying new things, you will be successful. Okay? So the next slide talks about taking advantage of training. And I've already spoken with Kylie there. I don't know if you can come to Boost. I know Sharon doesn't think she can come to Boost, but I'll keep trying until past the deadline, and then I'll stop. But right now I'll say please, because conference is one of the most powerful events in Party Light's annual calendar, and it is something to be seen. But the regional meetings are important. The team meetings, what you guys are doing right now is important. But here's the funny thing. Keep being involved. If you keep being involved with things like the mix and mingle and things like the regional meetings and things like the team times, and you stay involved with your team, you'll stay involved with the business. That's just plain and simple what'll happen. You might have months where you don't do anything, but the next month you'll be inspired because you'll go to that meeting and someone will say something or some special will call out to you and you'll think, you know what, I might as well give it a go. And then you'll do something that next month that will start your business rolling again. So stay involved. That has been, in my opinion, my key to success. I don't miss meetings. I don't miss conference calls. I don't miss opportunities to be part of the business. And when I'm invited to things, I always say yes unless I'm out of the country. And I have even been known when I'm out of the country to call in if I can to certain things because I just have the fear of missing out. I just want to be part of it. And I think that attitude has served me really well. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm now 14 years in the business. So 14 years and 3 days. And all of that time, the only thing I've consistently really done is participate in meetings and training. So stay involved. That'll be very helpful for you. Advertising. Someone asked about this just today on one of our pages on Facebook. And advertising is something that you're allowed to do once you become a qualified consultant. So what is a qualified consultant? A qualified consultant has $2,000 in sales cumulatively. So if you have done $500 in your first week and that's $1,500 in your second week, you are qualified. If you do $500 in your first month and $1,500 in your second month, you've just become qualified. If you do $500 in your first year and $1,500 in your second year, you have just become qualified. So it doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you hit $2,000 in sales. Now, we would like you to do that in your first business month, of course, because your first business month is where you get all of the benefits of qualifying, like Bright Start program and all kinds of stuff like that. So, but once you're qualified, you can advertise, and there's several different ways that you can do that, and I could train you on that if you want. And then the last page of the training says where to from here. And I've given you 5 things I think you should have done already or should do now if you haven't. So let me just read those out to you. You definitely want to log into the Consultant Business Center and poke around it. If you haven't done that yet, definitely have a poke around and really look at the downloadable files, the downloadable brochures, the consultant information and all of that. And especially the Training Academy, because there are a lot of videos in there and lots of downloadable information. Make sure you've submitted your direct debit and credit form. If you have not yet sent in by email a copy of your direct debit and credit form, then Party Light cannot sign you up for Candle Connection, and Party Light cannot automatically pay for your cash goods. So if you're paid in cash, you'll have to actually use a credit card to process the order. So if you don't have the money on the credit card, you won't be able to use any other form. So having your direct debit and credit notifications is important. Signing up for the online business suite, including Candle Connection, is $7.50 a month. I definitely recommend it for everybody because it helps you give platinum customer service and it helps keep you top of mind for your customers. Updating your personal information is really important. That's available under My Party Light in the top right. And then also all of the training I just talked about online. Especially the training that I provide. I've provided new consultant training following a lot of the steps that I've just read out to you. I provide that on our candleconnect.fun site. So if you log into candleconnect.fun, one of the articles there says new consultant training. The new consultant training videos that are there take you through every single step of what I've just talked about, and it only takes about 50 minutes to go through it. maybe an hour at the most. So that would be really good training for you to watch as well. Now, that is the whole training. So it covers a lot. I'm going to go back to page 1 where it's got the table of contents right here. So this is the overview of what I just talked about. Why don't we go around and have the 4 people who are on the line talk to me a little bit about what questions or what slides do you think you'd like more training on for that? And I'll start with people who are still unmuted. So Sharon, why don't we start with you, and then I'll go up on my little list. Sharon, what do you think? Is there anywhere there that you would like more?
There was something in there, I think it was down near the bottom that I thought about was the, what was it now?
Training, sponsoring, bookings?
I think it was bookings, actually.
Okay. All right, I'll write that one down. How about you, Kylie?
Bookings also
Yeah.
for me, but I would say probably the party basics, in the sense, because I kind of, with one of the Facebook parties I did, I came across a bit of a problem where, because it was online, every order had to be sent out individually, but I was trying to figure out how the hostess would still get credit for it.
All right, I get that. So an online party, how to run that and still get the host benefit.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll talk about that for sure. Leanne, how about you? And then we'll go down to IC.
Maybe party basics as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, that would be. The biggest thing I find is the tracking is the hardest thing to work out. But that's not in this. Yeah.
All right, I might show that because that's good training for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
All right, good, I can show that. And what about you, IC?
Definitely the party basics, I think.
All
Just
right.
from starting off, like
I love it.
knowing how to present properly and making sure that I'm covering everything that I need to cover, and yeah.
Good. All right, well, let me then take you on a tour. Let me show you. I'm going to hit back now, and hopefully it hasn't timed out, but if it has, it'll go. So let me do this in as quick of an order as I can, because I do want to finish in time for you. So let me just first of all go to my orders. Did you see where I went over here on my orders? And then I'm going to go to track my orders. This is what Leanne asked about. And here it says order status. I'm going to click order status, and then you will not see this page that I'm seeing right now. As a leader, I can actually look up the order status of anybody in my team.
Wow.
I can't look up the orders, but I can look up the status. But you won't see that. I'll just hit continue. These are the orders that I have done. And you can see that they're extranet show orders. That means that was an order I put in. Replacement orders at no pay. That means that there was no cost. The $9 fee was waived because it was Party Light's fault. Okay? And then we've got, let's see, gift certificate redemptions. I've redeemed a gift certificate, which I can do online. And gift certificate orders. Let's see, what was that? That was, I don't even know what that was. Oh, I bet it was a expired gift certificate that had to be processed manually. All right. What else is here? Contest award down at the bottom. So you can see replacement order with pay. Dita changed her mind. She ordered 3 wicks and then said, no, I'm sorry, I would rather have single wicks, but I had already put the order in. And she had specifically said she wanted 3 wicks. So because she changed her mind, I said, that's fine. We can definitely take it the return, but it's going to cost you $9 for the shipping fee to to do the change. And she said, not a problem. I'd like that. So that's why she paid that. And then contest award, this is because, see my April activity? I earned the April activity promotion, so they sent out the contest award. Okay? So that's the way to look at those. And I think what Leanne gets frustrated with is the same thing I get frustrated with. If I click on this right now, the order number, yeah, good, yay. I'm showing you the frustration. You see how down here there's no order tracking information? It has not yet been linked to Australia Post. And all I can tell you is that there's no way to get that information except for writing to customer service. So what I do is I write to customer service and I say, listen, and I copy this. I go copy, Control C, and I go to an email and I hit Control Paste and I say cs@australia.partylight.com. Please tell me the tracking number for this order. And you're allowed to do that. You don't have to ask me. But honestly, if it's only been 24 hours, you might just wait and then see if it's let me show you what the tracking information does look like on the lower one. That's where it is. See how it says tracking numbers? You click on that, and this is another problem. Leanne will probably roll her eyes now. It's not going to work, I don't think. Hopefully it won't work so that I can show you how to make it work. Please don't work. Oh, no. Okay, it worked. But if it ever doesn't work, there's just, see this tracking number here? This tracking number is mistyped sometimes in the system, and it's got a little addendum to it that says @type. You have to remove the @type and then just take that tracking number as it is, and it'll work. So these are glitches that Party Light's working on, and I'll just move on from there, but I wanted to show you that quickly. So is that enough for order tracking, Leanne?
Yeah. No, it's just that I had a party on the 1st of June, and I'm still waiting. I was waiting and waiting for the tracking number. So, and the lady asked me where it was, and I said, "Oh, it should be on its way. I think it's at the post office." And they got it, and there was never any tracking number put up for it. So it's just potluck, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. And you can just write to cs@australia.partylight.com to ask them for the tracking number.
Yeah.
Especially if it's already said that it's been shipped.
Yeah.
If it has not been shipped, do not ask for a tracking number.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to go to the online party really quickly. I want to show you guys where you can get some good training on this that's already done. If I go back to home here, home, and I go to training and open that up, see the training academy right there? I want you to click on the training academy. It's going to open up this page where it's got log into the training academy, calendar, and downloads. Let's just go to the training academy and hit login. Now you're already logged in, so you don't have to know a new ID or password. It's automatically going to open for you just this way. And I want to show you the little fiddly bits with this, because I don't know if all of you have been in here before, so I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So, see the programs here. It's a really ugly format, and I'll be the first to admit that. So just scroll down. See here it says, what, Leanne?
This one here, the one, if you move it up with the disco bally thing, that one, it doesn't do anything.
There really isn't anything for it to do. It's just a welcome.
Okay.
So then if you go down here to the new consultant training, that's where I want you guys to go. So you can watch the welcome, but don't worry about this start button. There's nothing there. But if you go down here to new consultant training, hit the start button. I'm glad I'm showing you this. I'm glad you asked for a little more info, because I see this is going to help you and everybody really, but this is going to give you some ideas of what to say at a party. So if you scroll down here, see how it's course 1, how to book parties, course 2, coach your host, course 3, find your signature, course 4, sponsoring. let me show you find your signature party. All right. If we hit start here, what's going to happen is going to open up this page, and you might not know what to do because it's not obvious. So I'm going to make it a little more obvious by telling you what to do. You click on this, course 3, find your signature party video. So I'm going to click on that now, and it will then open up the training. Now, I know that that's a little bit clunky and that it's not obvious, and I wish it was a bigger button that said click here. But it's, I'm not going to press play on that, but here's what you can still see this on my screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's opening up the video. If I were to hit play right now, it starts. And this lady comes on, and she sounds a lot like me, American. And we've done some voiceovers for these to show you, to make it a little more Australian. But let me move it to here and see if it'll. I'm sorry. Oh, I heard part of that. Oh no, she's talking. Sorry, that's the training. Let me hit pause. So this is the lady talking, and she's demonstrating the smart blends. This would be really a good one for you guys to all watch, because it has this lady take you through a find your signature party and what she says. It's great information. So I'm going to close that though, just here. But once you complete that training, it'll say that you've completed it. See the progress 100%. And you'll get a little certificate saying that you've completed it. Hello. Hi. All right. So I wanted to show you that. And then I'm going to go to Party Basics now. I'm going to go back to Party Basics. Go back, and back to Return to My Business up here. I'm going to go back to my business. Hopefully it hasn't timed me out. I'm going to go back to, what am I looking for? New consultant training. And I'm going to go back to that. And I want to just take you through the online, the Party Basics, because I think that is really good for you to hear. How was that? Did that help you guys find the training more than you'd ever found it before? Oh, I'm so sorry that is hard. Find it. Okay, so we'll go back into new consultant orientation. I'm going to go to the Party Basics, which are right here. Okay. Good. Obviously, you want to practice what you're going to say, and you want to practice setting up your kit and taking it down. Obviously, you're going to dress for success. You don't need to be dressed to the nines or have makeup galore, but you should definitely look like a professional, because you want them to trust you. What we're looking for is trust. The people who are there need to trust you to give you an order, to give you their money, to give you their credit card info, to book a party with you and invite you into their home. You're trying to generate trust, and trust is partly by the way that you present yourself. So, as I said, you don't need to have a new suit on, but you should look good. And so I always say don't wear jeans or thongs. Just wear a nice shirt and be clean. Know where you're going and get there on time. So those are the basics beforehand. Starting on time. Now, the way to start on time is to host coach better at the beginning. So if you let the host know that you want to start at 2 o'clock, so asking her to invite people to arrive at 1:45 for a 2 o'clock start, let her know that those are really good words to use so that people realize that the party's not an open-ended come at any time. We're actually starting it at 2. Or maybe say come at 2, we're going to start at 2:15. It doesn't matter as long as you give her that advice at the beginning, and then you'll feel comfortable starting the party, even though you might not have absolutely everybody there. But especially at night on a weeknight, you guys don't want to be doing a candle party and having it go till 11 o'clock because you waited for someone to get there until 9. You want to start at 7 or 7:30 or whatever time you were supposed to start. And people who arrive late, invite them to book their own party. Say, listen, you know what? You're going to be able to buy whatever you want today, but we went through a lot of info before you got here, and I'd love to do a party for you so that you can experience it as well. Okay? Now, there are cards that come with your kit, and the cards help you know what to say. And if you don't have the cards, they're available online. You can just go to the downloadable information and download the party cards and the instructions. Those are really good hints. Card 1 talks about introductions. Card 2 talks about combining fragrances and creating displays and sharing stories about where you would actually put items in the house. It's engaging information so that you aren't the only one talking. Kind of like I'm doing all of the talking right now. I would hate this at a party. I would really want to listen to what each of you had to say and find out more about how you use candles already. You definitely want to explain the available payment methods because that brings up money and it brings up the close. It tells people at the very end of the party, listen, if I want to order anything, I need to have a Visa, a MasterCard, cash, or direct deposit. Now, you don't have to take cash. You don't have to take direct deposits. You don't have to do anything that I do. But I do cash, card, or direct deposit. And the direct deposits, I ask them to do them right then and there. I say, listen, because what I do is I take all of the orders and all of the payments and I put the order into the system at home tomorrow. And it will be in the system and paid for, and nobody has to chase any money. Now, I don't make this about me. I always tell the guests that that is to help the host so that the host doesn't have to collect any money. All right, let's see. Explain the delivery process. That's also really good, and this is going to speak to Kylie's problem. So let's talk about the delivery process. A party, the way that Party Light does parties right now is that a party has a host and guests. It's usually in person. If you're doing an online party, you still need a host and guests. And the host is the person who's going to receive the products. And the host is going to get the benefits of being the host. The benefits of being a host are the 20% for free, the $50 bonus host voucher, the booking credits if anybody books a party, and the access to the host exclusive. So in order to get that, the host needs to be the one who coordinates the distribution of the products to the people. So, Kylie, when I ask someone if they want to host a party online, I encourage them to invite people who live near them so that they can either pick up or deliver easily. And if they have someone who joins the party online who isn't nearby, I let them know before the party even starts that we will run that separately. That person's order will be delivered directly to them, but it won't count towards her party. So you have to set that expectation up with the hosts by inviting them to host a party, but to invite the same people that they would if they were having the party at their house. Now, Party Light is looking at and working on developing a payment method for guests to be able to get stuff delivered directly to them. But we don't have it yet, and I don't want to make any promises I can't keep. So the way to manage it is to, first of all, when you're doing an online party, invite people in a specific area. So another idea for you, so let's say that you're the host. Let's say that I want to do a party, but I want to do it for people who live in Melbourne. I will ask somebody to be my anchor, my host. And I will say, listen, I live in Sydney. I'd like to do a party for a group of people who live in Melbourne. If I tell them in advance that they have to come and get the stuff from you, is it okay if I make you the host and I give you all the host benefits? And the person is usually very happy for that because I make it very clear when I invite people. The host works in the city and you'll be able to pick up your products from her if you decide to buy anything. The problem comes when you have a host in Brisbane, and you're in Sydney, and you have guests that are in Perth. And all you have to do is make sure that in advance the guests and the host know that if they don't live near the host, they're going to be separate from the party, and it's going to be delivered straight to them. And that if they buy $150 or more, you'll be able to waive the $15 shipping fee. Okay? Does that help with the words a little bit, Kylie?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helps, because I love to do online parties, but that's the problem with them. And it's all a matter of setting expectations at the beginning. And so
Yeah.
find a host and encourage the host to only invite people who live close enough to her for the deliveries or the pickup. Let me keep going on the party basics then. I'm nearly done. Sharing. Get to know the catalog. You really do need to read it. This is my copy of the catalog, and I know you can't read this, but it says Wendy's copy right up at the top. And I have written on every single page in here, and I've got highlighters as well. I've really read it from cover to cover and every single word of it. And I think that helps me. I also have dog-eared the pages where the candles are, because you know how the different fragrances are on different pages. So we've got the geranium citronella and all the citronellas on page 10. On page 12, we've got our glow lights. On page 18, we've got our wood wicks. On page 42, we've got our fresh home. And on the very last page, I think it's page 47, we've got all of our 3-wick candles and the 27 fragrances available there. So get to know your catalog. If you haven't read it, read it. And my suggestion is read it backwards. Start at the end and go forwards. And use a pen and write in it on every single page. And that'll stop you from skimming. You will actually read the fine print and the little footnotes at the bottom of the page and see all of the little comments. I think it's very helpful. Now, candle care. There is online. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back. Actually, let me download this. New consultant orientation. Where should I share that? Save it to here. Party light and presentations and webinars. New consultant. That'll do. All right. Now I'm going to go back. I want to show you guys something really quickly. It is the guide. I want you to go up here to what are you looking for? Product guide. This is so cool. The styles, let's see, volume 2. Here it is, Product Style Guide, volume 2, 2019. Unbelievable information in this. So this is, it's huge too. It's how many pages? Come on, tell me how many pages.
32 or something like that.
It's got heaps and heaps of information about the trends globally on words you can use at parties. Fantastic talks about the colors that are trending and the styles that are trending. But this is the page I like the best. I want you to see it. Let me see if I can find it. Here, I love this. The world's brightest candle tells you all about that, but that's not it. Hold on. Party like an expert. These are all different party things you can do. Party online. There's your online with Facebook Live. There's some information about that. Post exclusives. If you haven't gotten one of these, woohoo, you're going to love it. Okay, here. I love this page. It's all about the Fresh Home range and how awesome it is in odor neutralizing capabilities. Talks about all of the different forms that we have. And then here talks about the words you can use about how great our candles are. Now, I know you guys love our candles because otherwise you wouldn't be here. But you need to know why you love our candles, and you need to help people take great care of them. You know, this candle right here was a return. Someone couldn't figure out how to burn it. So I fixed it, and they moved. So I still have it. But you want to teach people how to take care of the wicks and to trim the wicks. You want to teach people that if they do that, it'll burn this clean. You want to teach people that they don't like things. This is not incense. You know, you want to teach people all the little things that we need to teach people. But I love the fact that it tells you about the good words that you can use about our candles. Party light candles are made with non-toxic, high-quality paraffin and soy wax blend that offers a consistently clean burn. You know, I don't really expect you to memorize those words, but I have. After all these years, I've memorized that because I just love, 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 love the quality wax that we use, and I'm proud of it. So this page, I swear, if you just downloaded this and read the catalog, you would have the best time with your products. It would work. Your parties would work so well. So let me just reopen that document, and I'll do the last slide on party basics. So I go to Party Light, presentation. Oh my God, date modified. There we go. And now if I move it over here, can you see it? Can you see new consultant orientation again?
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Okay, good. All right, there we go. Practice, party basics. Explain how to care. Okay, serving. Here's the last slide. Use the wish list. They're also called the love it list, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Here we go. That's wish list. I use these all the time. These are my wish lists, and I keep all of them. I got everybody's information on them. I take notes on them. I know when people are going to want me to call them back. I love the wish list, so use those. Offer parties to everybody. Give people encouragement that they should pick 2 fragrances or more plus a decor item. So like when I show off this at a party, and I know we don't sell this anymore, but let's say it's the favorites holder, I will always demonstrate the favorites holder with 2 different fragrances in it. I'll usually put, let's say, iced snowberry and fig fatale. It'll look funky. They're really different colors, and it'll show them that I like to blend the fragrances. So that's a really good way of doing that. And so that's a decor item and 2 fragrances, 2 or more plus decor. All right. So you keep people focused on decorating their house rather than cluttering it up with fragrance and candles, and they will feel much better about what they buy. Collect payments on the day and at the party. Start that habit early, and you will never have a disgruntled host or guest because someone paid on the day and someone didn't pay for 3 weeks. And you didn't put the order in for 3 weeks. And by the time you put the order in, the items that the person who paid you on the day wanted are sold out. That happens often if you delay the payment. So I always tell people, I take orders today, take the payments today, I'm putting the order into the system tomorrow, and it'll be shipped and delivered to your host within the next 5 to 10 days. All right, so I can say 5 to 10 days because most of my parties are in Sydney. If you ever have someone in your team that lives further away, like especially in WA, you're going to want to let them know that it might take 10 to 15 days. And then make sure that you ask your host if she had any outside orders. Because sometimes they've collected orders and they forget to tell you until after you've put the whole party in and submitted it. And by then it's too late. So you want to ask her before you leave. And the last thing is you want to make sure that she wants the items to be delivered to her house or to her office or to somebody else. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt for her to go and get the items. So maybe her daughter might collect them for her, or maybe she'll have them delivered to the office, or maybe she'll have them delivered to a neighbor who's always home, or something like that. So there are choices. You don't have to get it shipped delivered directly to the host. You could get it delivered as a total unit somewhere else. I mean, there is one more slide that I really like, but I'm running out of time, but I'll just show it to you. You want to pamper the host. You know, you total all of the guest sales. You find the total, you calculate what she gets for free, and you find out what she wants, and you help her get the most she can for free and for a discount. The best time for her to buy is as a host. So if she's got a big list for $500 worth of stuff, she's not going to spend $500 on it. She's going to get a lot of it at a discount. She might get some of it at half price. She's going to get a lot of it for free. So and even if she has to pay full price for some items, what you're going to do is get her the guest specials as a guest. So she's still getting a discount for those, because she can't order guest specials as a host. She can only order them as a guest. So if we have a really good guest special, you might as well let her buy that as a guest and have her get more stuff for free later. And if you're wondering about that a little bit more, I have an online training under our Facebook group called New Consultant Training for how to calculate a host order. And just tell me that you want me to tag you in that, and I'll find you and tag you in that. Okay? I see. I'll add you to that now. Cool.
I watched that one the other day, Wendy, and I found it very helpful.
Yay! Good. All right, so it's 8:31. Shall we just ask, did I answer your questions? We didn't get to go through bookings as much, but I will point out some bookings training for you guys that's online. And there is bookings training under your candleconnect.fun. If you look at candleconnect.fun, you'll find out what I used to look like when I had fringe. And you'll be able to tell me whether my accent has softened over time. But we did get through party basics. We did talk about order tracking, and we did talk about the online parties. And we also did a little bit of bonus training, because I showed you where to find the videos, and I also showed you where to find the documents, like the guide. The product guide is so valuable. I really recommend it. It would cost a lot of money to print it, but you don't have to print it. You can read it on your computer screen. And if you can print it, do, because it helps, I think. That's how
I printed it.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, so let me go quickly around. Icy, do you have any questions that I should follow up on after?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm pretty good at the moment.
I'll add you to the new consultant group, and I will tag you in that training.
Thank you.
Cool. Sharon, how about you?
Yeah, I was just wondering about how to, just needed a little bit more help about how to rebook them. I'm not getting that, so.
Cool. I'll give you one answer quickly, and I'll just say best time to rebook them is to get them to pick a date while you're at the party. Say, listen, I know it's far in advance, but if you book a party with me now for either, I don't know, I'm making it up, next month or next catalog or next year, then I can actually give you an item at half price. All we have to do is select a date. So that might be a good way to get the booking, and that's valid. That's perfectly valid, because as long as you've got a date and it's real, you can then say, listen, we can move that date later as we get closer, but I will use that date to get you the half price item, and then we can work towards it later.
Just a side note on that one, Wendy, one of the parties that I've just done recently, I ended up with 2 party bookings. But the way I got the party bookings was I spoke to them because they were really interested in the host specials that were available. And I said, well, if you book it, say, the 15th, then you've still got time if you need the extra time, 2 weeks to cover the payment. That way you're still going to get your June host specials. And they booked it just like that.
So that's good and bad. Good from a perspective of, yes, you've got time to close the booking, to close the party if you give them that window. And especially because you picked a date earlier in the month. But it also sets this example of them being able to place an order and pay later. And I just For your sake, it's less work if you can take all of the orders and all the payments at once. So you can do it any way you want. There's no right or wrong here. But the way I prefer to do it is to say, let's do it by the 15th so that the items are in stock, rather than let's do it by the 15th so that you have 2 weeks to pay. I just word it slightly differently to you. But there's nothing wrong with what you just said. In fact, it's a good strategy if you like that way. Cool. And yes, so Sharon, basically that's great advice from Kylie. Keep using the host exclusives, and as much as you can, take at least one of those host exclusives to the parties, because people will want, especially that forward. They want that forward. Kylie, do you have anything else I should follow up with you on?
No, I think I'm pretty well covered. That party where I got the 2 party bookings, because they saw the lantern with the 3 tea lights in it.
Yeah.
I sold 2 of them.
Awesome. That's just awesome. Great. How about you, Leanne?
No, I'm all good.
Good. All right, you guys know that we are just at the end of a phone line, so just give us a call if you need anything. Thank you so much for being here live. I didn't get to tell everybody that I recorded it, so just so everybody knows, I recorded it. We're going to upload it to YouTube, but I'm not going to promote it. I'm going to tell people who couldn't be here that they're welcome to watch it, and that's it. I won't be posting it on this group. So.
Are you meant to draw the bag thing? Was that a thing?
I drew the bag thing on the
that one.
Didn't I? I did for this.
Yeah.
For that?
Yeah.
Catherine won it.
Did I?
Catherine won it. Yeah.
Oh, well done, Catherine.
Yay! Yeah, I'm excited because I haven't met Catherine yet, so I get to give her a present the first time I meet her. All right, you guys, have a fantastic Tuesday night. Thank you for joining me. And do me a favor, brag about the new consultant Mix and Mingle and tell people what you learned on the Nirvana region group so that more people participate. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Where do I go now? Stop share. And I go to stop recording.